Okay, now Matt, so let me ask you this. During those 8 months rehab, I'm sure you encountered several type of challenges. Some people may call it more mental, physical, or some people say spiritual. Whatever ways, I'm sure you have those. How did you overcome? So now just move things forward a little bit. Then you had the surgery, then start doing a rehab. Initial rehab can be kind of monotonous in a way. What you need to do is kind of set, but so important, but not necessarily fun to do.
Not fun.
Yeah,
But
how
actually,
did you get through that? Yeah.
before the surgery, we had to do the
Rehab.
prehab.
Yes.
And that was tough because the pain was still there. And we're doing the range of motion squats. Range of motion, range of motion, range of motion.
Yeah.
And so we're doing all those activities while I know I'm gonna lose this all in three
Right.
weeks when they cut into me.
Right.
As soon as they cut into me, all this range of motion I just worked on is gonna go away. But I just had to trust the fact that everyone from doctors, everybody that I had talked to had told me, it sucks, but you have to get this range of motion because it's gonna make the back end better.
Totally, yeah.
And so that was like the first, like, okay, cool, what's next? And then we had the surgery, and yeah, those first, I would call it 4 weeks, 4 to 6 first weeks, those were tough. Those were some of the hardest times of my life.
What was tough?
I think the beginning factor would be that it was my right leg, so I couldn't drive. That was the biggest. I had to rely on so many people.
How many members?
I'm very thankful for people.
Yeah.
I mean, specifically my mom, my dad, my grandma, my girlfriend, the people that were driving me to and from coming to see.
Right. I remember.
Because without them, unless I was taking the city bus there, I physically would not have been there. And so that was a very important step.
Yeah.
But getting in there and actually doing the heel slides and the small activities that wouldn't seem like they're that big of a deal, but nobody else can feel the pain unless they're actually pulling on it.
Right. Yes.
Those were the things that were hard to do. But we got through it. We made them fun.
We tried our best. Yeah.
And we got it done, and we got it done in a timely fashion. So I think that the initial 4 to 6 weeks, just from your everyday activities around the house, from taking a shower, getting in and out of bed, getting in and off the couch, it was hard. But I'm very thankful to have the people that I did around me.
Yeah. One of the challenging thing is that point, first sticking point coming monotonous rehab right after the surgery. Mentally that is challenged, How did you get through that?
We just kept working. I knew that the only way to get through it was to keep taking it day by day. And even though it might suck in the moment, it might be hard in the moment, that was the only way to get to where I wanted to be. And sometimes you have to go through things that aren't what you want to go through in order to be successful at the end of the day. And I'd be lying if I said I loved coming in to see you at 8 a.m. every morning. Like, I would much rather be showing up to the ballpark, putting my cleats on, and running around for BP and getting ready to play a game. But the reality is I could see the big picture of, okay, if I want to get to that, if I want to get back on the field, I have to do the things I don't want to do, and I have to stick through them. And I think any athlete would tell you they don't want to be in rehab. They don't want to be recovering from an injury. They want to be playing because that's why we do what we do. We love to play the game. We love to compete.
So true.
But I think it can be good to take a step back and realize how important something is to somebody and what they're willing to go through to get it back.
Now, fast forward, you are able to do lots of functional activities. Now, making that better stride, going to more athletic activities such as running, jumping, cutting stuff. Was it a little bit challenging for you to going back to start even trying that activities?
Yeah, it took time, and it took motivation. It took showing myself that I could do it, but there were scary moments. There were moments where I was like, oh, this is easy. But I think it depended on the specific moment. For example, when I started jumping again, some of the first things I did were jumping off of one foot and landing onto two. And I did my left side and I jumped and I landed. I jumped and I landed. And then I put my right foot on the ground, which was where I had my surgery done. And I was like, come on. And I had to truly think about it and tell myself, you can do it, just jump. It's okay, just jump. And after the first one, I was like, okay, felt a little weird. Second one, and then the more I did it, the more comfortable I came. And the more confident I came, because my knee was showing me, you can handle this. You've done the necessary steps leading up to this, so you can handle this. And I think the positive like reinforcement from everything was like, when I would do something and I would do it well and everything went well, the next day I wasn't paying the price, meaning like I wasn't super sore. I wasn't, because we led up the correct way. We took the correct steps to make sure, okay, you are ready for this. And I think that was a important part, that I was physically ready, and then that allowed me to mentally unlock myself.
I see. Wow, that's good. So last 8 months, we spent lots of time, daily basis, every single week for sure. For the viewer too, would you mind taking us through your rehab day, what it was like?
Absolutely. We would wake up in the morning and we would, well, the first 4 weeks, actually 2 months, it was different because I had to get a ride there. I couldn't drive. And so I would have somebody pick me up, drop me off, and you and I would go to work. We would get on the heating pad, wait a little bit, and then immediately range of motion. Try to get as much range of motion as we could for those first 2-3 months, I think it was. And then from there we would move on to more activation, getting ready, loosening up, from elliptical to some stretches to, loading activities. And then before that, I think we would finish off with all our strengthening exercises. So it was kind of like you check the box each day down the list. You do your range of motion, you do your activation, you do your loading, and it was just like go down the list.
Yeah.
And the good part was that as time went on, those activities changed. And the first 2 months, you might have been stuck in the mud doing the same things, but I felt like once we hit months 3, 4, 5, it felt like each week I had something new, which made it fun, which kept me like wanting to come and wanting to get engaged. Like, what am I going to get to do this week? Let's see what, if you've ever played a video game, let's see what new things I've unlocked.
Right. You earned going to the next stage in the way.
So,
yeah.
No,
That's a good one. Yeah.
I think that every day was just, okay, we have to check this box, we have to check this box. How do you feel? And it was maintenance. It was, are you capable of doing this? And that was our open communication. And so just from you to, they won't know, but from Ryan to all the people that helped me in that gym every single day, I'm very grateful, and you guys pushed me to get to where I'm at 8 months.
Yeah. Then also, like last couple months, we are collaborating with our great strength coach Chip Goodsbridge, Charleston De La Cruz, to take you through getting ready for more baseball specific activities. What was it like, that transition?
That transition was fun for me just because it had felt like I was let out of prison.
So I kept in the prison?
No, it felt like they had opened the doors and said, "Go ahead, you're free," with some restrictions.
Right.
But no, just because there's other baseball players that work out at the same time now. Before it was just you and I and whoever was working me out that day. And we would just go through the list. Now I get thrown into the mix where it's like you feel like you're a part of a team again.
Yeah.
You feel like you can have conversations about something other than your knee for once, and you can talk.
So true.
You can talk about baseball again.
I see.
that's when it kind of opened the doors, and I felt more of an athlete again, more so than just somebody recovering from an injury.
Yes.
So it was really nice.
That's awesome.
But I'm Chip in Charleston. I've been working out with them since 2019, I think it was 2019, and I'm very grateful for them. They've put me in a lot of successful situations, and they will continue to. I know they will.
Yeah, definitely. They're part of the big part of that, your current success, you're making. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Anything else you want to add to your rehab component?
I just want to say thank you to you.
You okay?
Because I feel great.
Yeah.
Every day I wake up.
You.
Yeah, to you. You've made me feel like an athlete again. You've given me the opportunity to see that I'm gonna play again, that I'm gonna be able to be the same player that I once was. So thank you.
Thank you. And it comes both ways. I feel like anything like what we do, especially like, even training too, that is kind of teamwork. It's not trainers like giving you training.
No, absolutely.
So same thing for the physical therapy, rehabilitation. It's not just me providing treatment. Definitely, yes, I will provide the treatment as best as I can do. At the same time, when the clients, athletes, they put in their hardest effort, interestingly, without trying, I will put 120% effort, almost trying to match up their effort and try not to let them disappoint, whatever. Then almost like you're not creating a challenge, but I feel like you're gonna encourage me to create my own challenge to help you better.
No, absolutely.
So I feel like last 8 months was just a secret kind of effect of that. So I wanna appreciate and thank you for that.
Absolutely. I'm glad that we got to work together.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we are where we are right now.
That's right. Okay, now Matt, so let me ask you this. During those 8 months rehab, I'm sure you encountered several type of challenges. Some people may call it more mental, physical, or some people say it's spiritual. Whatever ways, I'm sure you have those. How did you overcome?
I would definitely say it's a combination, physical, mental, spiritual. It was just staying positive and understanding what the end goal was. Understanding that I'm doing all this because I want to get back on the baseball field, because all I want to do is go play again. So it didn't matter if you told me to move 10,000 boulders. It was, this is what I need to do because the baseball field's over there and I'm going to the baseball field.
I see.
And so it was channeling like a mental determination with like what my body was physically capable of doing, and not pushing it too fast, and understanding that you cannot rush this injury, you cannot rush this recovery. You have to take it one step at a time and do what your body's allowing you to do. And then on the flip side of that, when it comes to a mentality standpoint, you have to trust that the people that have gotten you to this point, in my case, you, my doctors, the Philadelphia Phillies, they have put you in the correct situation, and they have put what you are capable of doing in front of you, and that they're not going to ask you to do something that you're not physically capable of doing. And so if you can trust your body and you can trust the steps that you've put in the stepping stones, then the physical portion of it becomes much easier. I will say there was a mental block when it came to like new activities. Like I said, the jumping or the cutting or the twisting, like I would slow down on my right side compared to my left side. I had to truly sit there and be like, can I do this? And then I'd be like, okay, I can do this. And then as time goes, it gets better.
Awesome, that's awesome. Also, like based on my observation, experience with you, one of the greatest assets you have, well, you have many, just dedication, hard working, but something really stands out. Rehabilitation process can be not necessarily smooth all the time. I wish it was just linear, but sometimes minor ups and downs there.
Absolutely.
But many times because of so much challenge and struggles going through, sometimes clients, athletes could get overly reacted to those events. Sometimes like things are going well, excited.
Yep.
Sometimes doesn't go well, depressed. When that fluctuation happens so much, eventually it starts consuming the athletes quite a bit.
Absolutely.
But for you kept, no matter what kind of happened, you kind of kept it kind of steady. Where did you get that from? This is your nature, or you learn to get that?
I wish this was my nature.
Okay.
I wish this was my nature. But I think the important thing for me was I had to find something else that I love. I had to find what else made me happy, because for 20 years, as long as I could remember that I wanted to play professional baseball, baseball made me happy.
Right.
Every single day, baseball made me happy. No matter what was going on at school, no matter what was going on in my personal life.
Gotcha.
Every day I was going to swing my bat and I was going to throw a baseball. And then once this injury came, I was looking in the mirror going, where's your happy place? You don't have one.
Yes.
And so
All of a sudden taken away.
and all of a sudden taken away. And so I had to go, not find it, I just had to open my eyes and realize, what is it that makes me happy?
Yeah.
And aside from family, because I love my family is everything.
Great family, yes.
Everything to me.
Big fan of them.
But like activity-wise, what was it? What could I do to stop thinking about baseball?
Yeah.
Because when I'm at rehab, I'm thinking about baseball. It's my motivation.
Totally.
And then when I'm on my couch, I can't play baseball, so why would I think about it? Well, I turned to cooking. I turned to playing card games. I turned to just doing different activities to realize what is it that I like to do. And we found certain things within our family that kept me distracted, if you would, without distracting me from my main goal
Gotcha.
of getting back on the baseball. Just like a filler.
I see. Gotcha.
You can't do what you love right now, so let's find you a second happiness
see.
until we can get you back.
Gotcha.
And for me, it really was cooking. I did a lot of cooking.
Wow.
Did a lot of cooking.
What did you cook?
Everything. It's whatever my girlfriend wants for dinner.
That's awesome.
You tell me, I'll figure it out. It might not be
Oh,
good.
wow, cool.
It might not be good, but I'll figure it
I
out.
like that. This is what I want to get. Like, I want you to make. Let me figure out kind of stuff.
Yep.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah.
And so that kind of kept me distracted, and then
Some creativity,
creativity.
you know.
It was good. And then I spent more time on my couch this year than I ever have in my entire life. So I got to watch a lot of sports. I got to watch a lot of documentaries. Just learn things about people that I didn't know before, and it opened my eyes to different parts of the world outside of baseball.
Gotcha. What about, have you watched baseball, or you try not to watch the baseball?
I did like when I was first injured, I made sure I watched the team I was playing with when I got hurt. I watched them for the first 2-3 months, every game, because those are some of my best friends.
That's right. Yeah.
But it became harder as time went by to realize, like, man, I'm still not playing. I'm still not playing. And so I did flip off baseball for a little bit. I stopped watching it for a little bit. I took a break just because I felt myself falling back into like a depressing mode.
Gotcha.
Depressing mood, and I didn't like it. So I just needed to, since I couldn't play it, I just needed to separate for a little bit. And it was good.
Pretty wise, by the way. Yeah.
It was good for me, and I watched other sports though. Like you'll never be able to take the sports away from an athlete. I'm gonna watch sports, whether that's the NFL, the NBA. But yeah, it was really tough to watch MLB, and obviously the Phillies get to the World Series. I watched I watched every game of that playoff run, without a doubt. But it was definitely bittersweet to flip on a baseball game.
I see. So you shared with us about the story about your challenges, how you overcame. So just looking back last 8 months of your rehab journey, are there anything you feel like you earned, or you learned, or you have accomplished because of that, going through the journey?